It's the Bub and Gobbz Show.
La 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 la. It's the greatest show.
It's the greatest show, yeah.
Bub and Gobbz. Bub and Gobbz. Yeah. Bub and Gobbz. Bub and Gobbz. Hey there, lad. With a fucking recording. That was horrible. That was horrible. I can do way better than that. It's fucking terrible.
Oh, yeah, you fucking suck.
That was terrible.
Scottish accent. I can't do it.
What are you talking about there, lad? We've done it for fucking years.
Honestly, mate, I never really did the Scottish one. It was always a little bit more British.
You've always been more British.
I mean, no, honestly, I haven't really gone with the whole British accent for a long time. So I'm a little bit out of practice. Sometimes it gets a little bit Australian.
You know, funny story. I was dating this girl. I think I told you before. I'm dating this girl, and I had her whole family just fucking convinced that I was from Australia. Even though I was doing more of a British accent. I had a great backstory and everything, and it wasn't necessarily a lie, just remix of words, if you will.
Right.
Had people convinced that since my dad was in the Navy, that, you know, he met me mom in Australia, and I have the koala bear teddy bear. That was my first teddy bear, which is actually the truth. It was my first fucking teddy bear, was a koala bear. Another girlfriend's dog ate and destroyed.
Mine was a panda bear. And this creative genius named him Pandy. Dad puns and diapers.
Hi, Gobbz.
Jesus Christ.
It's me, Pandy.
Pandy's real!
And you.
Or as Goofy would say.
Okay, you shut the hell up about Goofy.
What's wrong with Goofy?
He stole my drumsticks.
Oh, yeah, he is an asshole. If you don't follow us on Twitter, you should. If you haven't been following our Twitter page, you should.
Yeah, absolutely
starting
should.
to get some traction on that platform. Recently found some other podcasts that are fairly small, like 200 to 500 followers or so. And they found us and added us to like a little direct message group. So they all started following us. We're up to 144 followers.
No shit.
Which doesn't sound like a lot, but like yesterday we were at like 110, and we just broke 100 within the last week, so we've jumped significantly.
So thank all of you.
Yeah, thank all of them and everybody and everything. But the reason I brought it up is one of the people that followed us is called The Twisted Cape. It's a podcast, and they are just a group of dudes. I think there's like 4 of them, and they just talk comic books.
No shit.
All things comic books. I listened to an episode while I was mowing the lawn. Hey, it happens. But I just wanted to like check them out, kind of hear what their shit is, because we like comic books. No, it's pretty good. It's a little slow. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like the pace of it was a little slow. It picks up somewhere like around 20 minutes or so. But I mean, that's quite a far ways into a podcast for it to pick up. But I enjoyed their opinions and their perspective on it. So it's cool. They talked about the Justice League movie was the episode I was looking at, which is relevant. The Zack Snyder cut is coming out sometime next year.
How do you feel about that, by the way?
The Zack Snyder cut?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm still really like upset with how they portrayed the Flash. I don't really like Ezra Miller's take on it, or Zack Snyder's, or whoever decided to make him like this whiny little bitch. I also don't like that they didn't follow the comic books in the sense that they made Barry Allen the Flash before he was a scientist. Because in the comic books, the way he gets his powers is
He's already a forensic scientist.
Yeah, well, the Speed Force strikes a bunch of fucking chemicals in his lab. They spill on him, and it infuses the Speed Force into his body. So it just doesn't make his origin doesn't make sense, I guess, in the Justice League's universe that they're making. So that's the only thing I really just don't like about it. But it is what it is. I'm curious to see the difference between the two takes on it, and it's the first time they've released 2 different directors' versions of the same movie. So
yeah, that's gonna be kind of different. I've already seen a whole bunch of major
changes.
Yeah, like, Darkseid instead of Steppenwolf, for instance.
Zane wanted to come show me something. Zane is my youngest son. You want to say hi to Uncle Bubbles?
Bubbles? Hello.
What up, buddy? What's up? What you got? What the heck is that? Is that
A robot.
Whoa. What's its name?
A robot.
What?
A robot.
Adorabot.
Adorabot.
Like adorable, but adorabot.
Robot.
For those of you that have not heard, Zane is the comedic genius of the family. He has dad puns for days. And he comes up with them like that. All right. You guys say hi. Wave.
Hi.
All right. Get out of here.
Do you love them?
Yeah. They're just pains in the ass.
Okay, wait a minute.
I was an angel. You ask anybody who knows me when I was a kid. I'm an angel.
An angel from hell.
Still an angel. The devil's an angel, man. He was an angel.
Okay.
Speaking of which, Lucifer, new season, fantastic. Loved it. Sorry. If you haven't watched it yet, you should.
Okay. If we're going to comic book talk, I need to change my attire. So, because I feel out of place. You got your Flash shirt, your Flash mug. I suck.
I didn't know we were doing comic book talk. We're going to comic book corner. Are we taking a stroll down Geek Street to comic book corner?
We're gonna fucking do it. So I need to change some shit up. Ready?
Yep. Whoa! Very nice, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
Very nice. Like the magic.
I know, I'm a magician. What up?
You're a wizard, Harry. Nay, he's a hairy wizard.
Yeah.
I don't. Man, I like Harry Potter. I'm a nerd.
Yeah, fuck that. Okay, so since we're taking a stroll down comic book corner.
Down on Geek Street.
Down on GEEK STREET. So.
But yeah.
I'm kind of in the same boat when it comes to Justice League.
Okay.
I don't know how I feel because just like with you in the Flash, I once again I agree with you completely because I'm like kind of skewing the origin story, especially when you already have a TV show out at the same time. Mm-hmm. It's already done origin story 3 times now, and they've already done the Flashpoint, and you've already come out with the cartoon version of the Flashpoint.
Yep.
So why, in my opinion, why would you do it again? Tell the same damn story. I mean, granted, every version of the story is slightly different, but at the same time, why?
Oh, there's so much other content. If we're talking about the Flash specifically, that you could do. You could go back to like when Barry Allen was first introduced in 1940, the Golden Age Flash. Go all the way back there and do the original fucking story if you want.
Yep.
This forensic scientist got some chemicals spilled on him, hanging out with his fiance, Iris West. Meets her nephew, Wally West. So many ways you can do it.
I mean, yeah, there so many different ways, and I mean, it's not. They keep focusing all this media on the same story, and just like you said, there's so many different. Same thing with Batman. Like, I always tie it back to the Bat, but same thing with the Batman. There's so many fucking stories around him, and there's so much fucking storyline, and they do all these different stories. Dark Knight Returns, Death in the Family, Lonely Place of Dying. Fucking, I mean, there's how many movies out there that have to do with just Batman himself, when there's a lot of core storyline when it comes to Batman that actually centers around Robin. Well, not just one Robin, there are multiple Robins, and one thing that always plagues Batman is the death of the second Robin, Jason Todd, and that actually forms a lot of his, not just his psyche, but just a lot of his internal struggles moving along. But when you don't, and Zack Snyder briefly, like a fucking split second brushed on that in Batman vs Superman, which I thought was garbage, by the way, when he showed the costume of the dead Robin with Joker writing on it, which, for those who don't know, spoiler, Robin was killed by the Joker. He was. But he was brought back.
I was going to say, last time I checked, he becomes the Red Hood.
So, it's comic books, so nobody stays dead in comic book land.
That's
we
true.
all know this.
Barry's died like 14 times.
I know, right? Bruce has died like 3 or 4 times.
Who fucking knows?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, he died brutally murdered by the fans, not the Joker. Because
he was. That was
comics,
funny.
There was a 1-900 number, 1-800-1900, whatever. There was a toll-free number where people would vote, and it was a very slim margin, but the fans voted to kill the Boy Wonder.
Well, because obviously I wasn't really around back then, because it was a while ago. Wasn't it like early 80s or something like that?
It was mid to late 80s, I think. It was like 86.
Might have been alive, but I sure wasn't reading comic books or reading at all. Barely talking. But from what I hear, it was Jason Todd as the Robin wasn't like a widely appreciated.
He wasn't
Robin.
a fan favorite.
People just didn't like the way he was written or his character or whatever. So it makes sense that they wanted to fucking blast that little bastard away. But an excellent portrayal of Jason Todd as Robin, and a series that I just recently got caught up on was Titans. It was on DC Universe, whatever their little streaming service is. But it was great. I liked the depiction of Jason Todd as just this arrogant, annoying little shit, which he kind of was.
Which in the comics he was. Like, he was a little shit.
But the whole show I think is awesome. Like, the way they do it, like, I feel like that's what DC Comics should be. It's a little dark. It's a little more serious tone to it than, say, like the Marvel Universe. But they do it really well. And the biggest issue I had with, like, Justice League and Batman vs. Superman is not even the story, not even the acting, none of that. It's just the cinematography itself was very dark. Like, it wasn't lit up very well. Like, you couldn't really see what the fuck was going on. And that's what I'm worried about with the Batman coming out with Robert Pattinson. Is I saw the trailer come out, and it was really dark. Like, I had a hard time like making out shapes and people. I was like, oh, yep, that's a silhouette, great, but I want to see the details in the suit. Like, I want to see everything. You can make it dark and creepy looking or whatever without turning all the lights off.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, and there's one scene in Titans where Batman, technically it's a hallucination of Dick Grayson's in between when he was Robin and before he became Nightwing, so like in a weird limbo area.
Yeah.
But it had him hallucinating that he goes and kills Batman. And he picks like a whole fucking team of people with him, and there's like 30 SWAT officers, and Batman, they had stormed the Batcave and everything, and Batman fucks them up. Like, the way that they did it, I was like, that is Batman. That is fucking perfect.
Right.
Like, it has him like coming in from the ceiling, fucking people up, grappling hook, zipline thingy out, like he disappears and then he comes back and fucks somebody up from a different side. Like, it's just him jumping around all over the place and just causing chaos. He takes out like 30 fucking dudes in like 10 seconds. Like that is Batman. That portrayal is why he is able to be part of the Justice League without any superpowers. Like, people don't realize that.
Why is Batman part of the Justice League? Doesn't make sense. You just punch people.
I'm like, no, he is so fucking good at punching people in martial arts and everything else. And just the theatricality, like Christian Bale kind of did it. Like in Batman Begins, they started to touch on it a little bit, but it wasn't as fluid as it was in the Titans. And I really appreciated the way the Titans did it.
Ooh, yeah.
So you need to watch it. I know you haven't watched it yet, but find a way, pay for the subscription. You actually get, the way I did is you get a week free trial.
And just binge the shit out of it.
Binge it, man. It's only 2 seasons. It's like 28 episodes total. So just binge it. I did. Yeah. You can definitely do it in a couple days.
I mean, yeah, if you have nothing to do, you can totally do it in a couple days.
Well, I don't have anything to do, so fuck you.
Well, and they show that a lot with Batman in the Arkham games too, where you can like take on hundreds. Yeah. Just.
If they took like the Arkham storyline and turned that into a Batman series, fucking tits. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, so I will say the one part I liked when it comes to Snyder's movie, the Batman vs. Superman, I did like the warehouse fight where Batman just fucked up all those people to a point. Yeah. I didn't like how it killed all those people, like flying in with the Batwing, just lighting them up. I was like,
Batman doesn't kill. Like, that's
not supposed to kill. Like, don't get me wrong, even in the comics he has, but it's always been like situational or consequential. Like, it's not him directly. It's like kind of
like Batman Begins when he just lets Ra's al Ghul die. He doesn't.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not gonna kill you, but I don't have to save you, kind of thing. Yeah, and he's done that in the past. Well, the very first couple comics, Batman was a cold-blooded killer. Like like back 1939, 1940, like straight up. Oh man, murderer. But then they reshaped it to try to be more appealing to kids, which I thought was not just because I was a kid and I'm still a kid at heart. I think was a smart idea because it also gives that sense of morality.
A code.
A code, which a lot of these people these days I think they fucking need. But we're not getting into that shit. But in that movie, Batman has no code. He's just fucking people up. So there are a couple parts I'm like, you didn't have to do that.
Yeah, you could have kept it with the story the way it's supposed to be a little bit. And I know that like a lot of comic people are like, you need to follow the comics directly. I don't give a shit if you fucking change the story and take it your own direction. But there's certain elements about that character that you need to.
You just don't cross.
Through.
Yeah, and that's why people follow that character. That's why people are excited to see them on the big screen, because they want to see that character, not necessarily your version of the character. Which I mean, every version is different. But
you can have your own version, but like I said, there's certain character aspects.
Yeah. Stick to the core basics. What?
Get out of my head, Bubbles.
I can't help it.
So, speaking of being in each other's head, that's one thing that some of our watchers, listeners, whatever, have mentioned, is that they think we have good chemistry. Sometimes our episodes are a little bit hard to follow, and I'm going to say I agree. However, I'm also going to give you the finger, because we're just starting out. We're figuring it out. Just kidding. I'm not going to give you the finger, even though I already did. Can't take it back.
You get the mitt.
But we appreciate the feedback. So if you do have feedback, and if there's something that you think we can do better, let us know.
Comment
below.
Like
it, we'll fucking definitely do it. So that's why we're going to try and kind of be a little bit more on track, less side stories. But with that, I don't know what this... So, back to Comic Book Corner.
Back to Comic Book Corner!
One of the things that I really appreciate about just kind of like a live action portrayal of different comic book characters and how they've been done, and I think that is a good example of how the DC comic books could be outside of like that, the TV shows and the movies that we've already mentioned, is like the first season of Arrow.
Ooh.
That was fucking good. It's my favorite season, but it has Arrow, or has Oliver Queen as this fucking dark, brooding assassin. Like, he's not even a superhero vigilante, in my opinion. He's a fucking straight up assassin. And I liked it. Yeah, he was killing people. Yeah, that kind of goes against like the theory.
In the comics, Arrow does that though. Like,
the Arrow was that guy. Like, it was a great portrayal, and that's another example of how you can make it dark without going overboard and without turning all the fucking lights off. Movies have lights for a reason, Dick. And I'm not talking about Dick Grayson. But for those of you
when they say
Lights! Camera! Action!
Yeah, it's not turn the lights off.
Camera. Yeah, no, fuck that. You want to be able to see what's going on.
Yeah, otherwise what's the fucking point? Just have a radio show.
Yeah.
Go back to the fucking
or just
50s.
Yeah, or just fuck that and just go listen to the Bub and Gobbz Show. What up? Well, like, the other thing I don't like is, like, in not just comic book movies, but movies in general, where the camera's like all up in their face and you can't see shit because everything's going on so damn fast. You're like, what is going on? I'm so dizzy.
But it's artistic.
It's making me fucking
so
nauseous.
artistic. And I know it sounds like I said autistic, but I didn't. Even though that might be what's going on with the cameraman. Who knows?
I mean,
just kidding. Autism is a serious thing, not to be joked about, kids.